Hello and welcome to part 2 of examples of serious faults that may occur on driving tests. So a big thank you to everyone who's seen part 1. Was not expecting it to be as big as what it ended up being. It was just supposed to be a few clips to show between my students, but hopefully it may have helped you avoid serious faults on your driving tests. So our first clip here today, a student is going down the A4074 towards the Hayford Hill roundabout. Now, as you may have seen, there are some signs warning us there are some lane closures up ahead. The left lane will be closing, and usually when you get a lane closure there will usually be a sign saying that the speed limit has dropped. In this case the speed limit has dropped to 30, but the student has continued past at just under 50 miles an hour, so they've received a serious fault for response to traffic signs. Now when the speed limit does go down, you must be at the lower speed limit before the sign, not after. Now our second clip here, the student here has just pulled out onto this road. They're just gathering up their speed and they've been asked to pull over into a safe place on the left. Now going into your early lessons, your instructor will say when you pull up on the left next to a raised curb, no yellow lines, but on this one the student has decided to pull up on the pavement, and as a result no pedestrians could get by, so they received a serious fault for position normal stop. If the examiner asks you to pull over next to a raised curb, no yellow lines, they may ask you to ignore them on some occasions. When they do say that, it will be okay to park over a driveway or on a yellow line. Now our third clip here goes to show an example of something the examiner says to you at the very beginning. They will say to you, always follow the road ahead unless traffic signs or road markings tell you otherwise. Now the student here is in a one-way system. They're about to go around the corner to the right and there will be a no entry sign in front of them, so they will not be told where to go as their only option is to turn left. But the student hasn't seen the sign and has gone past it, so they've had to be brought to a stop, and then they have received a serious fault for response to traffic signs. So it's one of those, just be aware of traffic signs and road markings around you, because you will not be told to turn left or right if it is your only option. Our next clip here, the student is approaching Littlemore roundabout and has been asked to take the third exit to the right towards Rose Hill and Iffley. Now, the student here has correctly got into the right hand lane, they've got their signal on and they're proceeding onto the roundabout. Now the issue here is the student is so focused on their lane positioning that they miss the traffic light changing to red and they have to be brought to a stop before they go through, so they've been given a serious fault for response to traffic lights. And now to our next clip here. The student is driving through Garsington and they're about to go over the last speed hump here, but after the speed hump there's this small little patch of red tarmac which the student has mistaken as being the change of speed limit. Now there were no signs at the side of the road and there's still a system of street lighting, so it is still 30 along this bit of road. Now student speed is picking up all the time. They get up to just under 40 miles an hour and they're being told that they have to slow down as it is a 30 limit, so they've received a serious fault for use of speed. It is something that I am noticing on lessons, and I am warning students to be aware of that, because the speed limit doesn't change until you pass that sign just there. It's only then you can pick your speed up. Our final clip today, the student is going up Quarry Hollow and has been asked to turn left. Now as we get further up the hill we can see it is a stop sign, so the student is expected to come to a complete stop at the white line. When you do come to a stop, it may be best to put the handbrake on. It just shows the examiner you have come to a complete stop and there's no doubt in their mind that you have come to a complete stop. But here the student is slowed it right the way down. They kept crawling, but they didn't come to a complete stop, so therefore they haven't complied with the sign, and they've received a serious fault for response to traffic signs.